Welcome back to the reality, guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian.
Go on, everybody.
We are back. We just finished watching the Love is Blind season 6 reunion on Netflix. Like and subscribe here and on TikTok. All of our Love is Blind coverage, all of our reality TV coverage, including every episode of this season of Love is Blind. We had some in-between episodes. We may have more if some stuff pops up here in the news following the reunion. All right, Bri, I'm going to say right off the bat here, I thought this was one, Love is Blind's best reunion they've ever done.
Agree.
Two, I think this was Nick Lachey and Vanessa Lachey's best moment on
Agree.
Netflix, period, as host. I thought they didn't make it too much about themselves. I thought that they held people accountable. I thought all the questions had facts behind it, that had research behind it. It really looks like, frankly, they paid attention to schmucks like us and people on Twitter who really skewered them last season and really thought that they weren't taking the right approach with it. I know you were. I was shocked to hear you told me that Twitter has had a negative response to them.
Yeah.
Comment section, let us know, Brian. But I think you're on the same page with me, right?
No, I completely agree. I enjoyed, like, I was worried for a little bit when I was watching it, and like usually you text me and I wasn't getting any text from you. I was like, maybe Bill doesn't like the reunion. I was like, I actually really enjoyed it. Like you said, I agree. I thought it was the best one yet. I thought and Vanessa especially, like, I thought she did a good job. Like, she wasn't like overbearing with the questions, but I thought she was asking questions at the right times, like saying the right things. Same with Nick. There was humor involved at times. I guess maybe they played a little bit too much to the past contestants, but I still don't mind seeing them. Like, it's good to have, like, I really enjoyed them being there and like reacting, their reactions to what was going on stage. I actually really enjoyed. I thought that was really funny, especially Kwame. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I had a really good time. I'm really glad that it made me watch this instead of something else.
I them sitting there made me think of like the Senate in Star Wars or something. I am the Senate. I'm sitting there watching these people, or yeah, but look, I think they had a tactful balance of having them there. At first, I literally said to my wife, we were painting this room. This was the room, guys. Everyone's been watching us for a while. The one used to have the bookshelf and everything is now going to be the baby nursery. And so it's a mess. But we're in here painting, and I'm like, she's like, what are they doing here? Like, and I'm like, oh God, it made me at first like, there's not going to be a lot of spice to this reunion because like they need these people to even fill in the blanks? And we're getting updates about them. But I thought overall, like, having them ask questions made sense, right? It was a way to naturally bring them and have them involved. Again, like I thought this was their best produced overall reunion. I thought it was an hour and 37 minutes well spent, which I usually have a complaint about the reunions and their length, and I do not have anything bad to say. It's kind of crazy to say.
Yeah, I mean, I would have even taken a little more. Like, I said to you, appreciate, like, I would have liked to hear like maybe 5 more minutes from Ken and Brittany. But I mean, there's other stuff that I think that they didn't even really talk about, which I guess is fine. I mean, maybe we'll see what happens when, like you said, more stuff will come out, I'm sure. But like,
They usually do the reunion type thing of this show too. They've done that in past seasons where it's like a year later or whatever. So maybe they'll do some kind of little pseudo special with these people as well. We know we're getting 3 of them in Perfect Match season 2 this summer. So we'll review all that. I kind of want to go off the top here, Brian, and talk who I thought people who got the most heat, right? I feel like that's what everybody's going to want to talk about. I think Jeremy and Sarah Ann probably that was what they led with. That was the thing Vanessa was pushing the most on. The most amount I feel like cast members getting involved with their opinions. Lara literally FaceTimed in from Barcelona to make sure to get into the fray. I thought this dude is just a really bad liar. He's a guy who went on a show and I don't think ever's really been a player, and all of a sudden found himself in a situation where he had multiple women engaged to one, another one still interested, another one still interested who frankly didn't give a crap about the process and like respecting it. She's like, screw this shit, right? What is your opinion on him? And I'm curious, how do you think Sarah Ann came off on this reunion?
my opinion on him is definitely he's definitely still a loser. Anytime someone's like, "Well, I can address that," I'm just like, "Oh, here we go." Like that was like, that was like 35 minutes. I looked at one point. I looked at how much time was left.
Dude, a lot of time.
That was a like, yeah, it was a third of the show was that. And I was like, man, if they're bringing the heat on all these, like, watch out, Trevor. Watch out. I mean, I think they also dunked on Trevor too, but
Yeah, we'll get them next.
um, yeah, I mean, he still sucks. I don't understand what the fascination with him. Sarah Ann, I'm surprised that like I can almost tell I get a little bit of like Nick and Vanessa were kind of pissed at her for
Oh,
like
they
having
were.
to ruin. And
Thank
I
you.
thought they handled it, I thought pretty well. Like the questions they were asking were definitely like production definitely told them to ask these questions, but you know they're definitely pissed about it too. Like you can't be ruining the show, like spoiling it, like, hey, I'm at his house. Like, yeah, I don't
Oh,
know.
I can't believe people on the internet pay attention. That you knew that, and that's exactly the point I wrote here. I said Nick and Vanessa are fed up with this chick. This chick must have been a lot the entire time, probably since having to deal with her, and the fact that she even was talking about and we made good drama, but it was just a cringe moment that she should have just said, I was trying to make levity of the situation. And frankly, there's just been a lot and I just came off really cringy. I didn't mean that. But instead, it's all this justifying, all this crap. And
Right.
like you said, this dude's like, well, let me explain.
Yeah.
He reminds me of somebody you and I know. It's just like, you. Stop. Everything doesn't need an explanation. Just say you were wrong. Like, just say you were wrong and actually do something about it. Right.
Right.
This guy just sitting there. He's the one that showed the picture, right, of Jessica that comes back. This dude, it just kept coming
Yeah.
back to him. And it just, I frankly was happy that he got to be super uncomfortable. It's funny to find he got caught out by Chelsea because he was telling people
Yeah.
at the bar they probably spitting games of girls and he was single, right? And she was there and seen it and was like, "Oh, aren't you with a girl?" "Oh no, we ain't together." It was definitely together with her, just like he lied about the location things. This dude's a weasel.
Yeah. And I mean, Chelsea also mentioned like, hey, we're Sarah Ann aren't together. They are together off and on. So I thought
Yep.
that was just like there's always a little bit of truth to what people say.
Always a kernel of truth in something.
Yeah, like it might not be 100%. Like she's like, I've seen you once, and she's like, I've seen you twice, and I'm just like, okay, guys, like let's not get crazy here, but like
Yeah,
it was just
Chelsea, you've never really been good with historical
yeah,
accuracy on
exactly.
quoting people in time and
Mhm.
places. So just sit down with your feather dress.
Right. I mean, like Jess was chiming in, like other people, a lot more people that I wasn't expecting to chime in did, and that says a lot about like
Jess
how
and Micah are friends. That's an ick one.
yeah, yeah, when we talk about that, but I'm saying just like in general, like everyone had something to say about Jeremy and Sarah Ann.
Yep.
Like that shows how annoying not only were they to Jessica and Nick, or not Nick and
What about
Vanessa.
Jimmy?
Yeah, yeah.
Jimmy was Jimmy had the Arthur fist
I can't
meme
take that.
going.
I can't take Jimmy seriously with
But
that.
Jimmy is Bobby. He's Bobby Hill, but he literally had his fist going where
Yeah,
he's like, "Oh, you wanted me to be the villain? You think that's everyone else had my back?" It's like, well, Jimmy, no one really needs to have your back in that moment. The saddest thing you had going on was you had two chicks to choose between. So again, no one's really, yeah, that was villain Jimmy time. Like, so no, we don't feel bad for you back then, and we feel bad for you now because you handled things maturely, and we'll get to that. But before we get to him, I do want to talk about you name dropped before someone else who I thought got a lot of heat. It was Trevor. They even gave Trevor a countdown clock in the beginning. He
I
was
thought
coming
that was
in
funny.
30
I thought that
minutes.
was really
He was
funny.
coming. I wish they had ticked back into it every so often, like Trevor sitting there
Like
squirming.
that little box in the
Yeah,
corner.
like a picture in picture. Like Trevor
Yeah,
sitting there, like with his ball. And man, this guy got up there and went, "Well, I have an explanation for everything."
yeah.
Like the surprise Pikachu meme. Like he just literally had nothing. Yeah, he had a girlfriend. He was the douche. He was using it to try to get famous on the internet. It's like he was an a-hole. He didn't tell that girl that he was gonna stay with someone else because that girl wouldn't have released all those text messages, dude. If you were still good with her, you
Right.
ghosted her too. So this guy, like, grade A clown.
100% clown. I do think that he like you said he has something to say, but like I think he realized in the moment he's like I can't bullshit my way out of this.
The explanation I have is horrible. He probably like it would have been great if he like crumbled up a speech and threw it out. He's like, I got nothing to say.
Yeah, like with that was going back to the timer on the bottom. I wish he had like wrestling. I don't even watch wrestling, but like wrestling walkout music when that door opened, like, and he walks out like Vince McMahon, like he's like all like, look, I got
Conor
something to
McGregor
say,
arms.
and then gets sits down, he's got nothing to say. Yeah, God, I was worried that he was gonna be on Perfect Match. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was very worried about that.
They didn't mention, and people have been saying that. I mean, that was Kyle rumor. Kyle's not on with us this episode, but I mean, I haven't seen that anywhere else. So hopefully they didn't, because I don't think what. Why would Netflix reward that guy when he lied to them and played them? Like that would be horrible.
I agree. I agree. But then again, they're casting dudes like Izzy. So I mean,
God, please.
Trevor's probably more fun to watch than Izzy. If I'm gonna be completely honest, I know Trevor is a POS, but like,
Um, Chelsea didn't get it too bad. He had the obvious
yeah,
Jimmy conversation where he's just like, "Screw you again for giving away the secret. I should have just dumped you that night," which I agree with. He shouldn't have stretched it out longer. We talked about that last week. They go to like a roller
yeah,
coaster, like
that was
oh,
BS to me.
that's BS, dude. Like, no, yeah, if it was that bad, you should have ended it. Like, it's stupid that you let it go on as long as it did, especially when you definitely weren't like feeling her. You may
No,
not have been doing verbatim what she was saying you were doing. She definitely, I think, more lies on her insecurities than his actions. But he definitely wasn't like into her. I never got the vibe that he loved her. He always keeps saying he loved her. I'm like, I never got that vibe for 1 second watching this season.
yeah, I know, like like we hated him, and then we kind of started liking him because Chelsea was crazy. The reason I don't think Chelsea got as much heat is because like Howard, Nick, and Vanessa can be like, hey, by the way, she's like, oh, the internet's a mean place. So they're not going to be like, hey, by the way, everyone on the internet thinks you're nuts. Like, they're not going to bring up like, unless it was a
You
concrete
cry
thing.
a lot, Chelsea.
Yeah, they're
Like
not going to bring those
care to
things up.
share.
Yeah, like they're not going to bring that. This isn't like Andy Cohen asking questions where like they're going to actually like have some like real juice behind it. But
And they did well.
it's
Like we
fine.
said, we I thought they really did well. Megan Fox stuff came up, laughed it off.
Yeah,
Should never have said
I think
that.
I've been saying a good sport about it.
Should never have said it. Another guy who I thought came off pretty bad. They saved it towards the end with Matthew. Matthew was back. Matthew did literally verbatim say the same things to Emily, Amber, excuse me,
Yeah.
Amber and AD. Uh,
He was online saying like, "Oh, I want to say my story," but it's like he must have said that and then like realized like, yeah, they have the other stuff on tape, so like,
then why didn't he show up?
yeah, exactly,
Then why
exactly.
didn't you show up? You want to clear up your story? Show up, dude.
But like, why is AD going on dates with him? That's the other thing that like kind of blew my mind.
Oh,
Like, I,
girl.
I like AD, and I was just like, when she said like I went on 2 dates, I was like, ooh,
Yeah, that was a
ain't
cringe
no
moment for
likey
me.
that.
No, that was a cringe moment. I
Agreed.
100% a cringe moment for sure. 80, please. And like I said, I think Clay was sincere. I think move on, AD, save it, leave that where it was, and you know what you were worth. Leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, I actually I liked what Clay said. I thought like I was feeling like actually like I'm an emotionless, like I say, a fuck sometimes like on the show. I definitely out of all of us on here, I feel like I lack the most empathy. But like I was feeling a little bit when he was talking like that. I was just like, oh man, like it sounded really from the heart to me. And if somebody who doesn't like empathy like me thinks that, I want to know what other people think. But yeah, I don't think they should get back together. I think this is a learning moment. I think it's a really good learning moment. He had to address it on TV. I thought he articulated himself really well, like what he said, like his points, like thought were really good. And hopefully maybe he's on the couch like in a few seasons with somebody that like he
I hope so. He's
yeah.
got more work to do, just like we all do. But I think right now, for her, best to start fresh.
Yeah.
Um, you mentioned I want to mention the first part of the we have all the alumni there and stuff. They did mention Perfect Match again. I want to make sure we reiterate that they confirmed season 2 is coming. We have Micah, Izzy, and Jess confirmed for this new season of Perfect Match. Instant reaction is I think that Micah and Jess are good for the show. Izzy is a little boring to me. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. When they're like, "Oh, this is a like," I don't know if you're Jess or Micah. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Micah, but like you're coming on the show and like you get excited for Izzy when they're playing with that little like Star Trek board or whatever it is.
Oh
Like
God, I hope they revamp it too. I hope it's like something sick. It'd be so
I
fun.
thought that board was kind of sick actually. Like
No, I know, just like a new like update. That's
yeah,
all. Like
but
a
like I'm not getting excited for Izzy do with the bad credit. Like who's gonna get excited for that?
God, yeah, how many vignettes we're gonna see when he first comes. I was the broke guy, and then they're gonna talk about that in the mixers and oh God,
I like Perfect Match a lot, but my
I did
problem
too.
I like it a lot, but like the reason I like Love Is Blind a lot is because like they're all in the same city. So like there's the logistics of something that I'm big on is like location. None of these people are gonna be together really. Like you know what I mean? They have people on from like other countries on the last season. Like they're never gonna match up and work. But it's a great show. We love the show. Can we talk about Jess and Jimmy real quick? Like that little
Yeah, yeah.
um what do you think of that?
The
Like
time the time stamps are classic. Me and you always are calling for scores, time stamps, receipts,
yeah.
and this show does receipts better than basically anyone outside of like Vanderpump.
Yeah, you mean Bravo stuff?
Bravo in general, Vanderpump, yeah, being main
Yeah.
thing. What's your take on
I
that?
mean, I just I like Jess
Who
a
do you
lot.
think was right?
I mean, I think Jess was right
Me too.
because I've seen her like I followed her on the team page and like I see like stuff that she's commenting on. I've never seen her say anything bad about anything or like she's commenting on shit that doesn't matter. Her like I
No.
know people like come off like she sucked in her or her ending with Jimmy and I was like I don't agree with that. She was definitely just like in the moment. You're annoyed at something that happened. Like I thought was
He
pretty clear.
claims that she only was there for like 10 minutes and ends up being like
Yeah,
50 minutes, right? And the
dude, it was
whole
like 2 hours.
well, it was like the break, and then he was like another 50
Yeah,
minutes. Like it's like so it's just that she did not storm off and end that date childishly, like
nah,
he
he's a bum.
claims.
I mean, I don't know. Like, yeah, he's a bum.
I just am interested to see where that
But like,
progresses.
are him and Chelsea together or they're not together? Did I ever ask
Their
that question?
body language led me to believe maybe they were together, but they didn't ask that question. Their
Yeah, like
body language seemed very buddy buddy to me. He had his arm behind her and stuff.
yeah, like
Like
they asked that with pretty much everybody else, but not them. I didn't ask Brittany and Ken either,
it's a
but
very interesting question.
I
It's a good question, Brian. It's a really, really good question,
that should have been
frankly.
the fan question. Like the
Well,
condoms question was great, by the way. Like they definitely will listen to our show when what's her face read that one.
oh, I know. I'm just laughing in closing, thinking about all the stuff in the Sarah and stuff. Remember Kyle, justice for Sarah and
That's a shame he's not on today. The
justice for Sarah and people were loving it, hating it. It's curious where people stand on this. Brian, I think this is probably now my I'd say solid third, but maybe second best season.
for drama, I think it might be like one. Like the stuff that we found out post show, I think has been
Yeah.
it was pretty good. Like especially like shocking because people are like, "Oh, Trevor's so good," and it's like, "Holy shit, this guy sucks."
Loved three. You and I covered three. That was a good one. I think
I like them all, man. I think the show's really good.
no, I love the show. I'm just thinking I'm more so saying it was a top tier season for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
If you want to recommend the show to someone to watch Love is Blind, like oh, there's 6 seasons. Six is a great one to just to
yeah,
jump in with, frankly. Even if you see those people in the reunion, it's not gonna spoil anything because half it doesn't really matter.
yeah.
So
What I love about Love Is Blind is that people that don't like reality TV mainly or usually will watch this show, and
oh
that's why
my
I think
god,
like
yeah.
that's why I really love about it. Is like I love having conversations with people that don't normally watch it, and they're like so interested to talk. Like we're so interested to talk about it. And I find that really cool, and it's great.
Yeah,
It takes a hot mess to bring people together, but man, I really like it.
I would definitely want to give a shout out. Like the people that text us, message us, hit us up on Twitter personally, or even if you just follow us from watching the show, like we appreciate you watching, and it's cool to get you guys in on things if you don't watch a ton of stuff. I love everyone who knows me personally and stuff too about doing the show, and Brian as well. It's like we just love getting people into the stuff who maybe lapsed or never watched reality TV, and then just love to be that go-to person for people when they do check out stuff. Hey, did you like? I just had a buddy of mine ask, "Hey, did you watch the Trust?" It's like, did we watch the
Yeah,
Trust? And
yeah.
boom, sending message. Here's the playlist.
We
You know what
watch
I mean?
everything.
Like, did we watch the Trust? Like, we got
Oh, wait, day
interviews
one, yo.
No, but I mean, like that was a good one for us. Like, oh yeah, we covered it. But again, so we do appreciate all the commenters, appreciate all the viewers for Love Is Blind. Like I said, we'll definitely be back for Perfect Match. I guess that's probably the next. I don't know if we're going to get a circle season in between then or an ultimatum season. They haven't announced anything else like that, right? So
Dude, I don't know if I'm gonna cover another circle on this page.
I will cover the circle, whatever. It'll be faster. Frankly, I'll drop them in the morning.
Yeah, it ain't for me anymore.
That's fine, but we will have it on there. But as far as other shows going on, we are covering Survivor. The Amazing Race is back today, same day as the finale here as Love Is Blind. So we'll have a review of that for that one. Premiere probably Friday evening, and then going forward, we'll have them up on Wednesday night, Thursday mornings. Brian's covering Love Is Hip Hop. Love Is Hip Hop. Love and Hip Hop. What else do we have going on, Brian?
Deal or No Deal, Bachelor, Ready to Love, Jersey Shore, Summer House,
Yeah, we got
Almost a
stuff.
Wife, Vanderpump Rules. I think that's it.
Summer House, any of the other
Yeah.
Bravo stuff. I'm gonna try to get caught up. Like I've been working on Housewives seasons, so I want to be able to get through some of them. I'm just gonna like cherry pick, especially the ones that are still popular, Beverly Hills, Atlanta, get through those because those are the ones that are continuing, and then go back on ones like New York, who that cast is gone, or some of the ones that already got canceled. Salt Lake's big, but it just ended, so I have some time on that. It's only like 2 seasons though, so we'll be your Bravo people by this time next year. We'll have probably between Brian and myself seen every season of like every Bravo reality show. Have you covered
Mhm.
there? So, but for myself, Brian, everyone here at the Reality Guys, we really appreciate you guys watching. Peace.